On that, let's move on to talk about Nico Williams of Athletic Club Bilbao. So, for those of you who aren't aware, Nico Williams is a product of their academy, but Nico Williams' contract expires in the summer. Right now, he has a €50 million release clause in his Athletic Bilbao contract. So if Liverpool were to sign him, or anybody wanted to sign him before the end of the season, let's say in January, they'd have to pay that release clause. Now, there are family ties for the Williams brothers. Of course, his older brother Iñaki plays there as well. Nico looks like the better of the two, if I'm being honest with you. And they've been speaking themselves from the Bilbao side about Nico Williams. So, is it their sporting director? No, sorry, it's Nico Williams' agent actually who's been speaking. And he said, in a few months the contract ends. Let's not forget. The club know what the player's approach is, which is what he wants. There's no definitive offer from either party. So, as of right now, according to his agent, Bilbao haven't put forward a new offer to Nico Williams. So, because he's a youth product, I think they would be due compensation. But because Liverpool or an English club or any club outside of Spain could get him, I think that compensation would be minimal. If my memory is correct, I think it could be about €300,000, something like that. I remember seeing previous stories like this before. So he's available, basically. If anybody wants to try and get Nico, I think they could do it at this moment in time. That release clause is kind of only for January, really, because after January, or even in January, he could sign a pre-contract agreement to join any club outside of Spain. So it's an interesting one. It falls under one of these categories for me of, are we being linked with Nico Williams because he's a good, fast attacker with a very high ceiling, or are we being linked with Nico Williams because he's going to be available for pretty much free in the summer? And this is where I get confused as a Liverpool fan at times. I've spoken to you guys about this before, and other players. We've been linked with players, again, at the end of their contracts. When would we be linked with them if they had 2 years to go? Would Liverpool be looking to trigger that release clause as an example? Truth to this one is, I don't know the answer. I can tell you that Liverpool have been linked with Nico Williams for a while, but it could have been because of that release clause in his Athletic Bilbao contract. I wouldn't feel comfortable if Liverpool lost Mo and Nico Williams was the sole replacement. I don't think he's ready yet. I think he's still at least a season, maybe 2 seasons away from being at a level where Liverpool will be able to use him straight away. And also we've got Ben Doak, Cade Gordon, Trent Cone-Doherty and other young attackers coming through. So I don't know where I sit with this one. I'd be interested to know, of course, what you guys think. Let me know if you think Nico Williams to Liverpool would be a deal you'd like to see. Or, you know, let me look at this another way. Excuse me. Let's say Mohamed Salah stays, right? Let's say Mo stays for, I don't know, it doesn't really matter for this conversation whether he stays for 1 year, 2 years or 3 years. But let's say Mo stays. Then I understand the idea of Nico Williams. Absolutely. If you're going to bring in Nico Williams and slowly, gradually put him in, or maybe even send them back on loan somewhere for a year, then I understand it. Because you'd have Mohamed Salah for a couple more seasons and Nico Williams gets to progress. So in that scenario, absolutely sound about it. But if it was to replace Mohamed Salah, wouldn't be the right addition for me. Yeah, not for me. Look, I can only say this so many times, but if we get to a situation where we have to replace Salah, Mbappe is the answer in my warped brain anyway. But what do you guys think? Would you like to see Nico Williams at Liverpool, or do you think we could do better?